Alright, you guys have been commenting in the video that I made on my Terminator for a bit, so I decided I would finally actually show you how I built said Terminator. After many comments and such. So anyway, getting rid of the actual one, we will start the actual model. So we're going to start with this little assembly, and this is basically just an archway. It's got a 1x4 tile on the top. Snot bricks here, these have to be the ones with the studs on both sides, and then over here, these little L-shaped snot bricks with some 1x2 curved slopes there. And then from there, we are going to start putting together the hips. So this is the start of the hips. This piece in the front is going to be a robe. I changed this from my original design. It's a little bit more Templar-y. But, so this is a robe element. And then there's one of these snot bricks with a stud on each side. And then some donut studs to hold these together. And then this is a jumper plate with this snot brick and a clip. And so that clip is going to be very important later. But this is the next piece, and this is basically just going to fit right on here. This is another snot brick facing the opposite direction, though. So this is facing downwards. This one's facing upwards. Or I guess opposite. And then it has this thing, which is going to be the neck joint on top. So this is basically just a ball and socket joint. Nothing to it, really. Next, the chest armor is going to be this thing here. And then a tire piece that has some slopes on top. You can detail the front of it however you want to. But that's going to fit there. And then we're going to put this on the front of this. So this is going to be the chest assembly. So you have the chest, and then the robe down there. Your hips are going to be here, and the neck's going to be up here. Speaking of the neck, I like to use Dark Trooper helmets. Death Trooper helmets. Something like that. One of those two. Because they are closer to the Terminator shape than anything else in LEGO. So these are a little hard to get. I only have like 2 of them. So if I really wanted to, I can make like 1 more of these guys. But that's about it. But before we do that, we're actually going to fill in this next slot with this tire. You could probably use other tires. This is just the one that I use. And, you know, you kind of just push it in there and hope the whole thing doesn't come apart like mine just did. It's not a necessary piece, but I think it fills in the gap nicely. So I just kind of slide that down there and, you know, put together the rest of it's all over again. So put those there. Head on top, and then we're going to move to his back. So the back is kind of weird, forewarning. So first we have this piece, and this is what clips into this clip over here. But it's basically just going to be this 1x4 wall piece with studs on the side, headlight bricks there, and then a tile here. And then this is some of these elements. You can put some grills on the back for the grill detailing that these guys usually have. And then put a big slope on the top, and another one of those 1x4 snot bricks on the side. And so this thing is going to stack like this. You're going to push this down to make that nice angle, like, you know, concave here and then curved at the top. And then we're going to connect this into here. But first, we have to connect to this thing that I mentioned earlier. So this is what these pieces here were for. So that is just going to, I think, just connect in like this. And then you have this whole curved back assembly. And this is not a very stable connection, but it's basically just going to fit over like this. And so this gives you a nice archway around the head. It gives you a nice archway this way and this way. And then you're going to have hips here, and this is going to be the foundation of the shoulder. So now that we have that, we're going to do some of the legs so that we can actually get them to stand up. The legs are a little odd. You're going to start with one of these Technic pieces with some snot bricks on the sides just to make the curvature. And then one of these 2x2 plates with only 2 studs. So you're going to put that onto that side. And then this is a 1x2 with a cross-axle hole, a 2x2 plate, and then one of these 1x2 plates with the little thing sticking out. And that's going to fit into that there. This essentially creates a heel so that the thing doesn't fall over backwards, but that'll be more important in a moment. The other part of it is going to be this T-bar. Going to have some clips here, and then another one facing here. And that's just going to plug right into this, and this gives them some good mobility in the knee both ways. So make sure that this is also a little bit separate so that you can bend it all the way. You can also put extra detailing here. I just didn't want to make it even bigger than it already was. And then the other part, this you can change up the color obviously, but it's a curved panel for the thigh. And then this on the front is going to be somewhat useful if you want to do like a holster or something. And so you can easily add a clip to this and then have a little gun strapped to the side or something like that. And so this is just going to connect to that bar down there, and we're going to do the same with the other one that I already showed you, and now he should stand up pretty straight once I get this on. So we're going to pause and get that on. All right, so now that that's all together, he can stand up, and it is pretty darn chunky, but it holds stable nonetheless. So now we're going to do the arm, and he fell over again. That's too bad. Anyway, so the arm, we're going to start with the upper arm. This is just going to be a series of clips, essentially. So this part is going to be one of these bars that's going to go to a donut stud at the top. That makes a nice little hinge part. And then we're going to have one of these brackets, a 1x2 plate, just a normal one, and then one of these on the top. The clips that just have, it's a 1x2 clip with a clip in the center. And then this is going to be part of the shoulder joint. So go ahead and throw a robot arm on that as well. The lower arm is going to be a headlight brick with a clip. Basically a, robot arm, donut stud, 1x2 plate, 1x2 plate, and then just a clip. And so that's going to clip in here, gives it a full range of motion, stops at 90. All good there. And then for the shoulder armor, it's going to be these archways, and you can make this all the same color. I was just really lazy when I was putting it together. But these headlight bricks, cheese slopes, 1x2 plate on the top, snot brick here, and then a 2x2 rounded slope, I guess. And another one of those little parts. Going to put this together there. It does not matter what color you have on the inside. It's completely hidden. And then that's going to clip into the outside here. I could maybe figure out a better system for this later. I just haven't really gotten around to it. And then these are going to slot in to the sides. And that is our arm. I don't remember if I did the Storm Bolter tutorial in my short. So to go over that real quick, it basically just starts with one of those big fancy guns in the middle of this. So one of these parts, you can add a clip on the top, 1x2 plate with two Technic separator things there. And then the barrels are really weird, and I should probably redesign them. But it's one of these parts, and then an inkwell piece right here. And then this is just going to be any Technic stuff that you can use filled in. Barrel bottom piece there. And then just a 2x2 rounded brick. And it's not, or 2x2 rounded plate. It's not super stable, but it at least gets the shape across that you want with these. And I really hope they add these in Space Marine too. Because that would be awesome, and I want a Terminator class. Anyway, that's basically all I have for this video. I do have a short on how to make some of the heavy weapons, like the heavy bolter. Not heavy bolter. I forgot what this is called. It has an actual name. But that's in a short that I've already made, and in the same short is the heavy flamer from Deathwing. So go and watch those if you're interested. Hopefully this video was useful, and I'm going to have to go find better clips for this so they stop falling apart. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.